I'm Jim Viola, President and CEO of HAI. Welcome to this month's edition of the VFR, the Viola Flight Report. I'm here at Martin State Airport just north of Baltimore, Maryland to visit GrandView Aviation, a Part 135 fixed-wing and helicopter operator specializing in private charters. I'll be speaking with Jesse Naor, COO of GrandView Aviation in a few moments. But first, let us look and see what HAI has been doing for you. One of the most frequent issues we hear about from our members is insurance. Some operators are dealing with substantial premium increases. Others are finding it challenging to even get insurance. The cost of insurance coverage is having a very real impact on our industry's ability to operate. HAI is working with several other aviation associations to build a collaborative, comprehensive approach to this issue. We want to leverage the work being done across all of our groups and build consensus and unity as we address this situation. So my message to you is, we have heard you loud and clear, and HAI is working on your behalf to develop solutions. In line with our commitment to advance air mobility, HAI will be part of an effort to establish firefighting standards for future vertiports. HAI is an active member of the National Fire Prevention Association 418 Committee, which is charged with establishing firefighting standards for heliports. Those standards may need to be updated for vertiports because of the design requirements of eVTOL aircraft and power plants. Updating our nation's aviation infrastructure is an essential step in building its aviation future. As negotiations on a U.S. infrastructure bill progress, HAI continues to advance the priorities of the vertical flight industry. These include preserving heliports and encouraging the development of advanced air mobility infrastructure. HAI sent an industry coalition letter to congressional leaders expressing our strong support for the establishment of an advanced air mobility grant program. Grants like these will assist U.S. cities and counties in planning and capital investments for this innovative technology. HAI also sent a letter to various congressional aviation committees outlining a series of comprehensive legislative proposals that, if included in upcoming infrastructure legislation, will achieve significant reductions in our industry's carbon emissions. Our proposals provide us with a once-in-a-generation opportunity to leap ahead in meeting environmental goals. By making this proactive outreach, HAI focused legislators' attention on proposals that make sense, such as modernizing air traffic management and promoting sustainable aviation fuel. To learn more about these and other HAI advocacy issues, visit rotor.org/advocacy. Planning for HAI Heli Expo 2022 in Dallas is underway, and the Lottery 1 deadline is this Friday, June 25th. Companies who qualify for Lottery 1 have the best chance of selecting the space that they want on the show floor. Does your company qualify? Contact Heli Expo at rotor.org to find out. But for those of you who cannot wait until March, HAI is introducing a new event we are calling HAI Connect. On September 8th and 9th, HAI Connect will bring industry manufacturers and suppliers and buyers together virtually to discuss new products and services. With our simple, easy-to-use online platform, similar to Zoom, attendees can schedule 20-minute one-on-one appointments with participating vendors. Industry panel discussions and vendor demonstrations will round out the 2 days of programming. Attendee registration for HAI Connect opens on July 12th. Vendors, if you are interested in connecting with qualified buyers in the rotorcraft industry through this virtual event, contact HAI Sales Department at sales@rotor.org. For more details, visit rotor.org/HAI Connect. And finally, our most popular social media post in May was when we shared this Instagram post by a user named GeoPizza. It's a colorized, remastered video from 1940 of a demonstration flight of a Volk Sikorsky VS-300 with rotorcraft pioneer Igor Sikorsky himself at the controls, complete with his signature fedora. Watch this video to get a look at the daring and ingenuity of our early rotorcraft pioneers, and you will also realize how far our industry has come in just 80 years. Thanks to Wagner Souza, Airbus Maintenance Inspector at Helipark, who first shared this awesome video with us. Now, I'm here with Jessie Noor from GrandView Aviation. We're in the hangar and we've got a beautiful aircraft behind us, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her business.
So GrandView Aviation, while we're primarily a Phenom 300 operator, we actually began as a helicopter company. So we had our first helicopter in 2007. It's a Bell 407 Foxtrot, and I remember it dearly. But we really grew from being a helicopter operator that did exclusively medical organ transport. And the company that we were working for at the time said, hey, we'd really like you to get into fixed wing service. So that's eventually how we got into the Phenom 300 industry. But at our heart and our core, we've always been a helicopter company. So these days we do operate the S76D model. It is only used for organ transport, but very soon we are launching a shuttle service from Washington, D.C. to New York. It'll be called Fly Lindy.
Oh, beautiful. What other things do you do with the helicopters?
Yeah, so beyond just Fly Lindy, which would be a pay-per-seat service from Washington, D.C. to New York, and maybe even other destinations in the future, we certainly are open to doing more organ business across the United States. So generally we look for a program that needs a helicopter for their sole use, generally about 200 hours per year before we'll put a dedicated aircraft into service. But for right now, we're just here in Baltimore with the helicopter side, but certainly looking to expand the Midwest, the Southwest, as opportunities present themselves.
What other things do you do for safety with FAA or other organizations? I'm part of a number of different committees. I'm really an advocate for safety in the industry, so I participate right now in the FAA's Rest and Duty Committee. I'm also a vice chair on the National Air Transportation Association board, as well as serving on the Air Charter Safety Foundation's committee as well. So I try to stay engaged in what's going on in the industry, how we can increase safety in our organization and as an industry overall, because as you know, an accident affects all of us, and the better that we can make the industry, the better that we'll all do collectively. And how about, operating airplanes and helicopters? Do you see mutual benefit?
Oh yeah, I mean, the great thing is the more scale that we have, the more resources that we can provide to both. So at this point we have around 50 pilots. 6 of our pilots are helicopter, but having such a large pilot pool allows us to get into all sorts of different safety programs, expanding our training capabilities, learning from each other too. There's a lot of things the helicopter industry can teach the fixed wing and vice versa. So we try to make sure that our teams get engaged with each other and learn from each other's mistakes too. So.
Very good. What would you like everyone to know about GrandView Aviation?
GrandView Aviation and our Fly Lindy service, we are very engaged in safety. And I think safety is our reputation and our brand. That's why we always have 2 helicopter pilots up front. We operate the latest equipment. We have a Bell 407 GXI that's the second in the world to have IFR capability. So that's really who we are at our brand and our core. And we charge a premium because we offer a premium service. So that's what we represent.
Well, very good. A premium service focused on safety. It just doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
So you're doing helicopters and fixed wing now. What do you see for your future?
Well, obviously the eVTOL market is getting a lot of attention and excitement. I think, helicopters, the VTOL market, we've been in this space for a long time, and there's obviously going to be a lot of lessons that we can teach people who are trying to get into the eVTOLs, how to do that. What is the infrastructure issues that we're going to face?
Exactly.
Getting into New York, into the Hamptons, these are huge challenges that we're going to have to deal with before those aircraft or eVTOLs are going to be created. So we can really educate that group on what it's going to take. From passenger comfort levels, what they're going to be willing to fly and not fly, training. There's all sorts of things that the helicopter industry, the VTOLs, can really pave the path for eVTOLs in the future.
Thank you for allowing us here to do the VFR this month, and I appreciate everything we learned about your company.
Thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, that wraps up this month's edition of VFR. Please email me with your comments or suggestions on how HAI can provide you with better service. Until next time, fly safe, stay safe, and keep those rotors turning.